Joining us now, Niall Stanage, a White House columnist at The Hill. Niall, tell us which policies President Biden is willing to give up now as a concession to lower the cost of this plan.
Well, President Biden's in a difficult spot. It's like he has a kind of a shopping list, but his budget's about half of what he initially had hoped. So there are some things that he's willing to give up entirely. Tuition-free community college seems to be gone. On the other hand, universal pre-K seems to be something he's adamant about keeping. Separate to that, Adrian, you have a whole lot of things that look like they might be pared back to some extent. Just to give one example, there was a suggestion that Medicare benefits would be expanded to cover dental treatment. Now there's some suggestion of maybe giving people a debit card effectively that would allow them to pay for some dental treatment but would be capped at a particular amount.
And really, for a lot of Democrats, this cost was negotiable. But to make such concessions on some of these programs, climate change, paid family leave, we know that Meghan Markle was actually addressing in an open letter senators, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, saying that she believed that the time now for leadership included allowing all Americans to have this paid family leave become a reality. So do you think that it's realistic to see that this will actually work out in terms of coming to a deal that all can agree on?
Well, I think it's a bad thing to be caught on the wrong side of Meghan Markle for a start. But I mean, more broadly speaking, I think that Democrats, although they are disunited in a lot of ways, are united on one thing, and that's that it would be a disaster to get nothing, for this deal to fall apart. That would be really, really bad for them. So now, even though you have progressives like Bernie Sanders or AOC very far removed in general from their more moderate or conservative colleagues, the Democratic Party is singing the same song on the need to get something done, Adrian.
But Niall, what does this say to the American people that President Biden is not able to actually stick with it and to see some of his policies that he considered a priority come through?
I think that's a huge difficulty. Look, the basic offering of the Democratic Party is we can use government to make your life better. If that seems doubtful or seems not to have been achieved, that's a problem, not least because it disillusions Democratic voters. So as everyone starts to look toward the midterm elections next year, Democrats need to be able to provide tangible evidence that they have, in fact, done stuff that matters to people out there in America.
We'll see how the Build Back Better plan looks after some of these changes. Will it be more affordable and still be better? We'll find out. Thank you, Niall.